confirming it will be partnering with Apple to bring AI to iPhones in China. Apple Intelligence launching in the U.S. last fall, but is required to partner with a local company if it wants to bring AI services to China. So they had actually previously partnered with Baidu over the past couple of years, and now it looks like they are switching. One thing that's really interesting under the hood here is that they passed on a partnership with DeepSeek because they said the startup team lacked the manpower and experience to support Apple as such a large customer. So I thought that was interesting. I also want to point out a quote from Joe Tsai, Alibaba's chairman, saying they want to use about Apple. Apple wants to use our AI to power their phones. We feel extremely honored to do business with a great company like Apple. Josh.
Alibaba, the hot AI stock of 2025. Not sure I had that one on my radar. Stock's up. I'm taking a look now. Year to date, up about 40%, and it's been moving quite a bit on little different.
Year to date.
Yeah, year to date. So in basically a month, a little over a month and a half here. And it's been interesting because the stock's been moving quite a bit on sort of incremental AI announcements that they're clearly starting to make progress in that AI space. And you brought up DeepSeek, kind of the larger question here being of who can kind of dominate AI in China. And then Maddie, on the flip side of this too, Apple, interesting move here. I thought it was what caught my eye, a comment from Bank of America analysts saying that Apple, this maybe helps them with sort of developing more interest in China. Tim Cook had said on the earnings call that one of the key things that was driving new phones or sales of new phones in different areas was whether or not they have the AI solutions, right? So in order to bring that into China, they need to partner with a company like Alibaba. Of course, sales in China for Apple iPhones have not been great, so maybe this is one of the things that can start to help be a catalyst for Apple in terms of iPhone sales.
We know that domestically consumers in China have been really focused on homegrown names, and so maybe this partnership, to your point, is something that can help boost that idea around consumers. But it's certainly going to be interesting to watch tech executives kind of balance their need to work with China while also trying to be in the White House as often as possible. Then you've got Trump fighting China on tariffs. It's a very interesting love triangle.
Well, and that's something I've been thinking about just with this rally that we've seen in Alibaba stock in general, right? The fact that it is obviously a company that is largely pretty much their entire business is China and China e-commerce, right? What does that mean in terms of the current administration? How does that play out in terms of the overall China trade? Because of course it's been a hot tech AI name. But there's sort of a different dynamic there than rather than getting into, a Mag 7 stock or one of the other AI stocks we normally talk about.
There are a lot more unknowns, perhaps, moving forward. So certainly something that we will continue to cover.